Hi everyone. In the latest episode of Better Call Saul, we are in the Gene timeline. We carry on from when Gene was recognized as being Saul Goodman by the taxi driver Jeff, and Gene is anxious about his true identity being revealed. Gene sees a woman called Marion on a mobility scooter, struggling to get through the snow, and offers to help her. Gene clearly has an ulterior motive, as he cuts one of the wires on her mobility scooter, and when Marion realizes she can't move, Gene offers to wheel her home. Marion is so grateful that she insists Gene stays for dinner. Marion's son comes home and instantly recognizes Gene from their earlier encounter at the mall. Her son is Jeff, the taxi driver. Jeff is uncomfortable with Gene being there, and the two eventually have a word, with Jeff threatening to expose Gene as being Saul Goodman to the police. Gene plays it cool in this situation and tells Jeff the reason why he won't do anything is because deep down he wants to be part of the game. Gene instills this fear of missing out into Jeff's head, leading Jeff to accept Gene's proposal to be in the game. We see Gene reminiscing about his past adventures with Marco, back when he had no persona or secret identity and puts on Marco's ring. The truth is that Gene couldn't be further away from the life he had back then. From being free and fearless to now having lost everything and being in constant fear of being identified as Saul. Gene, however, still has some of that slipping Jimmy spirit and cooks up a scam with Jeff, which involves stealing various expensive clothing worth thousands of dollars. Gene wants to assess the security of the mall. Gene encounters two security guards, one of which was present in one of the previous Gene segments, where he was arresting someone, and Gene told the suspect to get a lawyer. Gene offers the two men food from his Cinnabon restaurant as a token of appreciation because they helped him when he fainted. Gene becomes close with one of the guards, Frank, and observes how long Frank takes to eat his Cinnabon meal using a timer on his watch. Gene does this routine for a few weeks, and to increase his rapport with Frank, even makes an effort to keep up with college football, a topic Frank is very passionate about. Frank's job is to assess all the CCTV monitors, and Gene again has an ulterior motive here, and is attempting to keep him occupied with the food he is giving him, hoping that it will give Jeff enough time to steal the clothing without Frank noticing. Gene eventually calculates that Frank spends on average 3 minutes eating, and therefore not looking at the CCTV monitors. Gene creates a basic obstacle course setting made with sticks and tape, which is designed to emulate the shop where they will steal clothing, including Armani suits, which we saw referenced in last week's preview. Gene makes it clear that Jeff needs to ensure that everything is completed in under 3 minutes. When Jeff isn't fully convinced about Gene's plan, Gene mentions how he made a financially struggling high school chemistry teacher become a money machine, directly referring to the events of Breaking Bad. Gene also recruits Jeff's friend to be part of the scam by posing as a delivery driver. He delivers a large crate to the manager of the clothing store, Kathy, who is bemused and repeatedly mentions how she was not expecting any delivery. She demands to speak to his supervisor, who is actually Gene using a burner phone. Gene persuades her to let them collect the crate tomorrow morning. We see that Jeff is actually hidden in the crate, ready to execute the planned theft, and when Jimmy gets Frank to start eating, he immediately texts Jeff, instructing him to go. Things seem to be going to plan for Jeff until he slips, and it takes a minute for him to get back up. This causes a major problem for Gene, who is seeing what is happening on the CCTV monitors and is now very anxious as Frank has finished eating. Gene goes to extraordinary lengths to try and stop Frank turning his head and looking at the monitors, eventually resorting to having a breakdown in front of Frank, crying about how he has no one left after his parents and brother died and how he has no wife or kids. Gene obviously said these things and acted so dramatically so that his plan wouldn't be foiled, as if Frank had seen Jeff on the floor, Jeff would have probably taken Gene down with him and revealed he is the infamous criminal lawyer, Saul Goodman. You can't help but think that deep down, that's how Gene actually feels, and that he does truly feel alone, and that his life means nothing. Although, we all know that because of the character that Jimmy is, he would say anything just to see his plan become a success. Remember in his appeal to get his law license reinstated, how he greatly exaggerated how emotional and sad he was after his brother's death, when afterwards he couldn't believe that they bought everything he said? The thing with Jimmy is that he knows how to manipulate situations to his advantage, and even after all he's been through, this is still second nature to him. Gene's intervention was successful, and Jeff manages to get all of the stolen clothes in the crate and hides in the toilet until morning. Everything goes as planned, with Jeff's friend taking back the crate with the goods and bringing them back to Jeff's garage, where they are delighted with all the luxury clothes which they are now in possession of. Gene joins them but insists they cut ties. He even demands Jeff say they are done, to which he does. This is similar to the way Jeff made Gene admit he was Saul. Gene threatens them, saying that because they were involved in this theft, they are liable for various criminal charges, and that he isn't afraid to drag them down with him if it came down to it. After the success of Gene's theft, he visibly looks happier, even having to be reminded by one of his employees to take a break. During his break, he is in a clothing store and comes across a colourful shirt and tie, reminiscent of Saul Goodman at his peak. He holds the clothes while looking at a mirror and then puts them back. It's clear that Jimmy thrives from pulling off these scams, and his slipping Jimmy persona will always be part of who he is. Perhaps wearing Marco's ring reminded him of who he was at his peak, when he was at his happiest, and encouraged him to pull off the theft at the clothing store. However, Jimmy might not look back favourably at his Saul persona, as we see how he puts back the outlandish clothing he had his eye on, perhaps feeling he is over that period of his life. Saul was basically an extreme version of Jimmy, who was more reckless and obsessed with wealth and luxury. Becoming Gene might have allowed Jimmy to reflect on who he became after Kim left him, and could have led him to realizing he should get back to his roots. Someone who has an eye for a scam, but isn't completely self-obsessed and constantly associating themselves with dangerous and unpredictable individuals. That was what led to Jimmy's downfall, as he was dragged down into becoming a cartel lawyer, and is what led to the demise of his relationship with Kim. I feel that Gene has evolved from the Saul Goodman persona, as Saul would have likely continued to want to do business with Jeff and carry on committing crimes. But Gene seems to be much more measured and stable, and firmly dismissed the idea of involving himself with Jeff and his friend again. It does seem that finally Jimmy has realized he needs some more discipline in order to have a more stable, less chaotic life. But has it all come too late? At this point, it seems he hasn't been with Kim for a number of years now. Does he hold hope for an unlikely reunion with her? Or does he just want to have less drama and more control in his life, and not be put in compromising situations by the likes of the cartel or individuals like Walter White? Although Jimmy does still hold positive memories of his Saul period, for example, when he mentions how he made Walt so much money it was the size of a Volkswagen. So it's clear he does identify there were achievements in the Saul era, even though it ended so badly. I wonder where Gene will go from here. I believe the character is now more positive after pulling off the theft. It feels he has regained a part of his personality. Perhaps there could still be a somewhat positive ending for him. We shall see in the coming weeks. See you next week for another reaction. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.